Hi, everybody. Welcome to Emerson, Georgia, as we get set for baseball on a Saturday afternoon. Actually, a game that was slated, a doubleheader that was slated for yesterday. There was bus problems for South Georgia State, so you got a doubleheader today. A single game will be played tomorrow. Robert Williamson set to bring you the coverage. A couple of teams coming in with 24 victories on the season, and in the loss column, very similar mark as well. As you see, 12 losses on the year for Georgia. Highlands, 14 for South Georgia State. And immediately Cole Escher gets put on, compliments of a hit batsman. So a base runner aboard, one pitch into this one. Getting underway a little bit early. The game originally slated for a 3 o'clock start time, so we're getting this one underway about 6 minutes before it was slated to begin. And Cole Escher, the right fielder, aboard after being hit by the Matthew Norton pitch. Let's get the lineup set for you. Of course, batting leadoff, right fielder Escher, he's over at first. Tyler Solomon is the second baseman batting in the 2 spot. Jacob Childs playing left field will bat third. The cleanup hitter is Colby Owens, the third baseman. Mikael Collins, the DH, has the 5 spot. Jake Bryan is the first baseman batting 6th. Garrison Hurd plays center field and will bat 7th for the Hawks. Christian Harkey getting the start behind the plate, batting in the 8 spot. Justin Brooks is the shortstop, hitting 9th. Here's the pitch to Solomon. It is on the corner. Escher, the base runner, aboard. Count 2-1 on Solomon. Giles moving to the on-deck circle. Matthew Norton getting the start on the hill for Georgia Highlands. It's his 11th appearance of the season, 8th as a starter. Runner goes, throw down to second, and Escher will get in safely with a stolen base. So a hit batsman and a stolen base has a Hawk in scoring position for Tyler Solomon. Rest of the Norton numbers, 3-1 overall, couple of saves, 33 2/3 innings of work, 31 hits given up, 26 runs, 22 earned, 21 walks, 27 Ks, a home run given up, and his ERA is at 5.88. In towards left, but foul by Solomon. And the count runs full. Jacob Giles next. Hawks trying to take advantage of the hit batsman early. Have Escher in scoring position with nobody out. Top part of the first. Pair of 7-inning games. As your GCAA game of the week on the outside part of the plate, and Solomon fanned by Norton. That is K number 28 on the year, and the first one of the contest for Norton. So one away for Jacob Giles. Rain all day yesterday into today. These fields, though, drain very quickly, certainly far quicker than natural grass. They are built to drain and do it at a high rate. Escher getting way off the bag at second. He will travel towards third. The throw into, well, it used to be the dirt, but on an artificial turf into those little rubber pellets, and then winds up over near the dugout. And safely at third now is Escher. Well, it looked like they had Escher caught. He was about halfway between second and third. Throw went down to second. And Kemp throws it into the dirt, winds up against the fence. Escher will now be 90 feet away from becoming the first Hawk run of the game. And Jacob Giles with an opportunity to drive in that run. Giles, a .295 hitter on the year, has 18 RBIs, looking for 19. Norton's pitch inside. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 away. A base runner at third. Giles batting. Colby Owens moving to the on-deck circle. Beautiful complex here, built by Perfect Game. Pop towards Kemp at second. Thought about going home to try to get Escher, but went ahead and conceded the run. Gets Giles on the sure put out at first, the 4-3, and Escher will come in and score to make it a Hawk 1-0 lead. Giles credited with the RBI. That'll be his 19th of the year. Bases cleared, but the Hawks taking advantage of that hit batsman on the first pitch. Wind up bringing Escher in. And Colby Owens will step in now with the bases cleared, but 1 in and 2 gone. Mikael Collins, who has had the hot stick here of late for the Hawks, coming to the plate next. Smacked in the direction of center field. It will drop in. Base hit for Owens. And the first hit of the game comes off the bat of the cleanup hitter Colby Owens. So Owens on for Collins. Collins hitting .328 on the year, 26 RBIs. That is tied for the team lead for the Hawks. Last time we had a GCAA game of the week, this gentleman came to the plate with the bases loaded and promptly put it over the left center field wall. Understand in a doubleheader that followed, had a grand slam and a 3-run shot that day. So a lot of the 26 RBIs for Collins have come in a handful of at-bats. Owens with his lead at first, bit of a chop swing from Collins. Owens, 6 stolen bases on the year, caught twice. And with a right-hander on the hill, maybe a threat to go. Not a big lead over at first, though, as it is fouled off by Collins. Jake Bryan moves to the on-deck circle. Chilly day here in Emerson, Georgia. And got a bit of a breeze making those cool temperatures feel a little bit cooler. 51 currently. You don't have to travel too far from here to run into a little bit of the white stuff. Snow predicted up in Morristown, Tennessee. That's about probably about a 3-hour drive from here. Not that cool here, though. Not cool enough for any snow, but a bit on the chilly side with 51. Owens at first, Collins batting. It's a 2-strike count. Able to get just a piece of it and stay alive. Collins 4 doubles, couple of triples, 6 home runs. And those 6-round trippers best on the team, 26 RBIs. Has struck out 11 times this year. Not a big lead at first for Owens. And the pitch just missed low for a 1-2 count. Owens with his lead over at first, held on by Horn. Matthew Norton on the hill, by the way. Rest of that defense as you got a swing and a miss by Collins, and out he will go. 1 run will plate as Escher gets on. Compliments of the hit batsman. Stole second. Wound up at third because of a toss into the dirt. Comes home and scores on the 4-3 putout of Giles. Rest of the Georgia Highlands defense, Parker Orr behind the plate. At first, Bryson Horn. At second, Willis Kemp. The shortstop, Austin Foster. Third belongs to Skylar McPhee. In the outfield, Spencer Lewis in left. Zachary Miller has center. And Nick Picapietra is in right. We have played one. It's a 1-0 advantage. Let's go to the bottom part of the first here on Jock Jive Sports.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
We head to the bottom of the first. Center fielder Zachary Miller starting things off for the Chargers of Georgia Highlands. Bryson Horn, the first baseman, will bat second. Second baseman Willis Kemp's got the 3-hole. Nick Picapietra is the right fielder batting fourth. Parker Orr playing behind the plate will bat fifth. The DH Blake Brady in the sixth spot. Skylar McPhee, the third baseman, has the 7-hole. Spencer Lewis bats eighth. He is the GHC left fielder. And Austin Foster, the shortstop, batting in the 9-hole. All facing Mark Mixon on the hill. First pitch to Miller just misses outside for ball one. Taking a look at the Mixon numbers on the year. 10th appearance. Only one start previously, though. Most of his appearances have been out of the pen. 4-1 overall. 50 innings of work. 52 hits given up. 34 runs. 21 earned. 19 walks. 64 strikeouts. 3.73 ERA. And he's given up a home run 3 times. I know it says only one start previously, but those numbers look like somebody that is not relieved as often as the stats would indicate. So got a feeling this guy's been on the bump to begin a game more often than not. As the pitch is slapped right at second baseman Tyler Solomon, and out goes Miller. One away from Bryson Horn. Rest of the defense for the Hawks behind the plate, Christian Harkey, Jake Bryan at first, the second baseman Tyler Solomon. Shortstop belongs to Justin Brooks. Third, Colby Owens. In the outfield, Jacob Giles is in left, Garrison Hurd in center, Cole Escher is in right field. Out of the strike zone with the opening pitch to Bryson Horn. Willis Kemp moves to the on-deck circle. Well, there's not a lot of indicators on the field in front of me as this one is hit over towards second. Solomon with his second consecutive chance, and this time sends it over to first to get Horn on the 4-3. Not a lot of things that would indicate whether we've got a breeze or not, but I did just look over at the American flag on another field, and definitely we do. And it might be to the hitter's advantage currently. Looks like it's blowing out. As Willis Kemp steps in with 2 gone. Low and away with the opening Mark Mixon pitch. Top of the second, Jake Bryan, Garrison Hurd, Christian Harkey all coming to the plate for South Georgia State. Outside with a pitch to Kemp. Nick Picapietra moving to the on-deck circle. Hoping for an opportunity here in the bottom part of the first in a 1-zip contest. Coming into today, South Georgia 10-6 in the conference. Georgia Highlands 10-7, a half game back, so a big game between these two. 2-3 in the GCAA could change spots depending on who takes the weekend series. As I mentioned, a couple of games today, and then you've got the one game tomorrow. Fouled off again by Kemp. East Georgia currently with the best conference record at 11-4. And then South Georgia's 10-6. Georgia Highlands 10-7. A-back at 11-9. Gordon 7-8. West Georgia Tech 5-11. Andrew College 3-12. Coming into today's play. 2-1 pitch on the inside part of the plate. Out goes Kemp. It is a 3-up, 3-down. Bottom part of the first. We've played one, and after one, a 1-zip advantage. It belongs to the Hawks.
In Morristown, at the Best Western Plus Morristown Conference Center Hotel. When checking in, be sure to show your Best Western Rewards card and earn points. And make yourself at home in their spacious lobby, plenty of seating room, and a large screen TV await. Enjoy complimentary hot breakfast served from 6 to 10 each day, where you can make your own waffle in the breakfast room. For your comfort, you'll find kitchenettes, suites, king and queen size beds, a dining table, a work desk, and a chair, and LCD televisions in their rooms. They also have accommodations for conferences, banquets, and meetings. The Oakwood Room can accommodate up to 160 guests. The Cherokee Room is perfect for a business retreat and can accommodate up to 80 guests. Audiovisual equipment and catering are available to make your event special. Just give them a call to check rates and book one of their meeting or banquet rooms today. The Best Western Plus Morristown Conference Center Hotel.
Well, don't forget about following us on Facebook and Twitter. We keep you updated on everything that we are doing. On Twitter, it's at Jock Jive. On Facebook, it is Jock Jive Sports. And, of course, you can also watch the game on Facebook, too. So there is an opportunity not only to follow us and befriend us and keep up with everything that we are doing, but there's also the option to be able to watch the game coverage on Facebook, and maybe a little bit later on, as a matter of fact, working on the ability, should be coming, I would say, before the end of May, the opportunity to watch the game on Twitter as well. Jake Bryan starting things off in the top part of the second. Garrison Hearn, Christian Harkey due up in the inning 2. By the way, you'll certainly want to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, especially Facebook, as this one is hit to short, scooped up there by Foster, over to first and able to get Bryan on the 6-3 putout. Because working with a small crew, which means we don't have the ability to today take your text shout-outs, so you can post them on Facebook. Go to the game coverage there and post your thoughts, cheer on your team, root on a particular player as the left-hander Garrison Hearn steps in. Into the strike zone from Matthew Norton. 1-0 advantage, top part of the second. Norton hitting Escher with his first pitch in the ball game, and then Escher steals second. Winds up at third on a pickoff attempt that goes awry and comes in on the 4-3 Giles putout. And that's where we stand here in the top part of the second, as the pitch is low and inside, 2-1. Christian Harkey moves to the on-deck circle. Into the strike zone, Norton running the count even on Hearn. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hearn a .254 hitter on the year. In towards Kemp. Kemp bobbles it, and on to first goes Hearn. That will be scored as an E4. And of course, that is an unofficial E4. The official scorekeeping is right here. So it is an E4 confirmation. Now it's official. It was unofficial, it goes official. And the base runner that benefits from the mistake is Heard. He's over at first as Christian Harkey, the right-hander, steps in. Low and away with the pitch to Harkey. A .179 hitter on the year. Harkey, though, getting the start behind the plate, really to benefit his pitcher, Mark Mixon. It was a big part of the reason that Jeff Timothy, the head coach at South Georgia State, put Harkey in the lineup. Wrap towards third. McPhee's got it to second. Throw on to first. Not quite in time for 2. But the lead runner is out on the 5-4 putout. And there's 2 away with Justin Brooks coming to the plate. And a base runner at first. Back to the top of the order next. Matthew Norton. Swing and a miss by Brooks. Hawks as a team batting .284. Harkey, slight lead over at first. And the pitch low and away to even the count up. Harkey doesn't have a stolen base this year, hasn't tried to steal a base this year. Limited plate appearances, 28 coming into today. So limited opportunities for Harkey to get a stolen base. Popped up towards right. Pietro will watch it drop on the other side of the chain link. And the at-bat for Justin Brooks stays alive. Cole Escher, the leadoff hitter, has moved to the on-deck circle. 2 gone, 1 aboard. Hawks for the second consecutive inning, putting somebody aboard. Norton's pitch stays upstairs. And you got 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 gone. Both teams, as I mentioned, coming in with 24 wins on the year. South Georgia 14 losses, Georgia Highlands 12. Hit to short, gobbled up there by Foster, and he will go to second to get Harkey. 4 go up, 3 go down, 1 left on. Nobody scores in the top part of the second. We head to the bottom part of the inning. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters all coming up when we return to Lake Point in Emerson, Georgia.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
We head to the bottom part of the second. Nick Picapietra starting things off. Parker Orr, Blake Brady due up in the inning too for Georgia Highlands. Quick look at what's coming up in the GCAA. Next weekend we come right back to this neck of the woods. Cartersville, Georgia. Andrew College taking on Georgia Highlands in GCAA softball. The Twin Bill starts at noon Eastern, and the live coverage here. Next and last baseball game of the week, where the GCAA is concerned, East Georgia and Gordon State. They will tangle on the first day of May. Not necessarily the last GCAA baseball, but the last baseball game of the week. To have the state tournament coming up, and it will happen down in Barnesville, Georgia at Gordon. And we'll have live coverage of that one as well right here on the GCAA Sports Network, powered by Jock Jive. Nick Picapietra stepping into the batter's box. On the season, batting .380. A lot of RBIs produced by this team, and 28 would put you at the top on a lot of squads, but in this particular case, he's got company with 28 and is not the team leader. Orr's got 31 to lead the Chargers. Count evens at 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sun trying to peep through the clouds on this Saturday afternoon here in North Georgia. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2. I mentioned it's cool. It's been raining. There is still a slight chance of some rain, maybe a little bit later on, according to the iPhone weather app, which, again, I'm not sure why I refer to it. It's frequently wrong. Maybe it will be. It says a 30% chance at 6, a 50% chance at 7. Otherwise, clouds. 32 the low tonight. Foul out of play, and the count stays even at 2. I mentioned the doubleheader was supposed to have been played yesterday, and this was supposed to have been a single 9-inning game, but bus problems changed that. Hawks bus broke down at about 11 o'clock yesterday morning, and they weren't able to get on a new bus or a different bus until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then you find Atlanta traffic to get here. So it didn't look good for a start a whole lot before midnight. So they switched the doubleheader to today, and the single game will be played tomorrow. And that game will be played here at this park, but not on this field. Kind of nearby field, a little smaller park. Popped up in the direction of left field. Giles goes over, makes the catch, and there's one away. One gone for Parker Orr. Blake Brady, the DH, moves to the on-deck circle. I mentioned it is an artificial turf. Interesting to see slides into second if you're not used to playing here. Of course, both of these teams, obviously Georgia Highlands plays here often, and South Georgia has been here before. I know in Division II baseball, though, as this one is lifted towards center field, Hurd will come in a few, reach up, make the catch, and there's two quick outs. In Division II baseball in Enid, Oklahoma, that's a artificial turf. At least the infield is artificial. The outfield is actually grass. But you get a lot of teams that haven't played on artificial infields, and the slide into second is interesting to begin with until they get a feel for the park. That got a piece of Brady. So Escher got hit by Norton in the first, and now Brady will get popped by Mixon in the second. And the two-out hit batsman has got the tying run aboard in the second for Skylar McPhee. McPhee hitting .363 on the year. This is a Georgia Highlands squad that as a team bats .314. Fouled over onto the adjoining field where a tournament is being played. Multi-field complex, I think maybe 8 to 12 different baseball fields here. Hit in the direction of right field. Escher got room, got time, and now has baseball in mid. 4 go up, 3 go down. 3 flyouts. Brady hit by a pitch. He's stranded at first. Nobody scores in the bottom of the second. We head to the third. Still a 1-zip contest. Hawks on top.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Well, there's your line score as we head to the top part of the third. It's been a pretty quiet first couple of innings. 1 run, 1 hit for South Georgia State, and that 1 hit, by the way, did not produce the 1 run. 1 error thus far for Georgia Highlands, and that 1 error did not produce the game's lone run either. Here's the guy that came in and scored the only run of the game, Cole Escher, hit by a pitch back in the first. Batting to lead off the third, Tyler Solomon, Jacob Giles due up in the inning 2. Count will even up at 1. First of a couple of games here on a Saturday afternoon. Into the strike zone, 1 and 2. Escher hitting .385 on the season. And that doesn't happen too often. Struck out for only the 10th time in 122 at-bats. And there's 1 out here in the third. That is strikeout number 3 for Matthew Norton. And it will bring Tyler Solomon to the plate, who struck out looking in the first. Jacob Giles moves to the on-deck circle. High and away with a pitch to Solomon. Well, we were talking about those conference records. Overall marks, best one in the GCAA belongs to Georgia Highlands at 24-12. Next would be South Georgia at 24-14. As there's a shot into center field, second base hit of the game. As Solomon delivers. Owens had a single in the first, and now Solomon does the same here in the third. And there is a base runner on for Jacob Giles, who drove in the game's only run back in the first. East Georgia would have the third best overall record in the conference at 18-13. But it's not how you fare overall, it's how you fare within the conference that gets you the best seeding come conference tournament time, which this year is a little smaller. Sent in the direction of center field, and there to make the catch, Zachary Miller. And Giles out number 2. Two gone for Colby Owens. Mikael Collins moves to the on-deck circle. But in years gone by, 6 teams played in the tournament. Solomon off immediately. It's a hit and run fouled away by Owens. Solomon 9 stolen bases on the year this year. And he will dive back in safely at first. So obviously with 4 teams participating, not 6 in the conference tournament. Not only do you lop off some teams, you lop off some days. So fewer days to determine a champion. And clear another hurdle in an effort to get to Grand Junction, Colorado. There's one more, though, and that's the district tournament. And that district comes up, I believe it's the week after the conference tournament. Into the strike zone to Owens. If Norton had gone to first, he had Solomon picked off. Solomon broke towards second before the pitch left the hands of Norton, but instead a stolen base, his 10th of the year. Into Kemp at second, lobs it over to first, gets Owens on the 4-3 putout. Left on is Solomon. So the Hawks pick up a base hit, their second of the contest, but leave Solomon on. We have played 2.5, going to the bottom of the third, still a 1-zip contest. Hawks lead it.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Well, another busy week for us. Not only GCAA softball coming up over the weekend, but ACCC softball on the 10th. Southern Union taking on Shelton State. We head up to Morristown, Tennessee. Next weekend, Walter State and Columbia State in softball the following day. Same 2 teams in a baseball doubleheader, and you get it all right here on Jock Jive Sports 24/7, whether live or archived. lot of junior college athletics right here. D2 softball, the national championships, we'll have that for you too in Clinton, Mississippi. And the D2 baseball championships in Enid, Oklahoma coming up as well right here. Bottom of the third, near the bottom of the order, Spencer Lewis starting things off. Austin Foster, that's the 8 and 9 hitters. And then Zachary Miller will follow, and Spencer Lewis hit between the shoulder blades. And the leadoff guy on to begin the third. So Mark Mixon pulled a Matthew Norton and gets Spencer Lewis on. Matthew Norton popped Cole Escher in the first, and Escher eventually came in and scored. And now Mixon has hit Lewis. And let's see what happens where Lewis is concerned as Foster shows bunt. Throw down to first, diving back in safely is Lewis. Zachary Miller moves to the on-deck circle. Foster, a .274 hitter this year, has put one out of the park. Showing bunt again, backs off, and again the toss outside of the strike zone. Foster with 3 sacrifice bunts this year. Count goes 2-1. Top part of the third, 4 go up, 3 go down. Solomon got a base hit, second one of the game for the Hawks. But he is left on, and here we are in the bottom part of the inning with a tying run over at first in the form of Spencer Lewis. Swing and a miss. Lewis going anyway, and he will get safely to second with a stolen base. For Lewis, that's only his second stolen base of the year. And now in scoring position for Austin Foster. Here is the 2-2 offering from Mixon. Chops it over towards third. Owens will go to first. Foster's out, staying put over at second. Lewis. Throw pulling Bryan off the bag, but Bryan able to lay the tag on Foster for out number 1. Back to the top of the order we go. Zachary Miller next. Miller lined out to second in the first. Right back up the middle, off the mid of Mixon, and he tries to retrieve and cannot. And that is going to be scored as a base hit for Miller. And that'll be the first hit off Mixon in this one, as Miller gets on with the infield single. So here in the bottom of the third, Lewis gets hit and Miller gets a hit. They're both on for Bryson Horn. High and away with a pitch from Mixon. Mixon has already committed to play baseball next year at the University of Miami. And obviously Miami with a pretty good baseball program. Into the strike zone to even the count at 1. Horn hit into a 4-3 in the first. A .320 hitter on the year. Left-hander awaits. The right-hander Mixon comes set, gives base runners a check. Now delivers the 1-1 outside. Willis Kemp moving to the on-deck circle. Chargers threatening here in the bottom of the third. Have Lewis at second, Miller at first. And Horn awaiting the 2-1. Sliced in the direction of left field. Giles going back. That'll hit the wall. Giles will retrieve off of the wall. Meanwhile, base runners were not off with a crack of the bat because of the possibility of Giles making the catch in left field. So they hung around bases. Miller at first and Lewis at second until Giles could not get to it. And it turns into a long Bryson Horn single. Loading things up for Willis Kemp. So Mixon's got himself in a wee bit of a mess here in the bottom part of the third, but nothing that a pitcher's best friend, the DP, couldn't take care of. Meanwhile, Chargers, they want to plate some runs here in the bottom part of the inning. At least get this thing tied up and maybe take the lead. We'll see. Up the middle. Double play. Picked up by Brooks, stepped on the bag, fires to first. Gets both Horn and Kemp, and a couple of base runners are left on. Chargers threaten but leave 2 aboard. We have played 3 complete. Still a 1-zip Hawks lead as we go to the 4th.
In Moorestown, at the Best Western Plus Moorestown Conference Center Hotel. When checking in, be sure to show your Best Western Rewards card and earn points. And make yourself at home in their spacious lobby, plenty of seating room, and a large screen TV await. Enjoy complimentary hot breakfast served from 6 to 10 each day, where you can make your own waffle in the breakfast room. For your comfort, you'll find kitchenettes, suites, king and queen size beds, a dining table, a work desk, and a chair, and LCD televisions in their rooms. They also have accommodations for conferences, banquets, and meetings. The Oakwood Room can accommodate up to 160 guests. The Cherokee Room is perfect for a business retreat and can accommodate up to 80 guests. Audio-visual equipment and catering are available to make your event special. Just give them a call to check rates and book one of their meeting or banquet rooms today. The Best Western Plus Morristown Conference Center Hotel.
Cal Collins starting things off in the 4th, delivers into center field, and there's the third base hit of the ball game. As on is Collins. Jake Bryan, Garrison Hurd due up in the inning too. Well, the Chargers threatened, had a couple of base hits in the bottom of the 3rd and loaded things up with 1 away. But Kemp wrapped into the double play, and a couple of base runners were left on for the Chargers as we head to the 4th, and still a 1-zip contest. Jake Bryan hit into a 6-3 in the 2nd. Steps back and fouls that one away, 1-1. Garrison Hurd moving to the on-deck circle. Obviously a lot of sports going on elsewhere. Patrick Reed leading the Masters in Augusta by a couple of strokes. Collins making his way to second with a pitch that's into the dirt and back to the screen. And now a base runner in scoring position. All NBA games a little bit later. Nuggets and Clippers will start things at 3:30 this afternoon. Major League Baseball, Red Sox with a 10-2 lead over the Rays in the top of the 8th. Hit to third. And it rolls around on the infield. Becomes the second error of the game as Bryan gets on. And you got an E5 to go along with an E4. The E4 happened back in the second, the E5 here in the fourth. And now a couple of base runners on for Garrison Hurd with nobody out. Bottom of the seventh, Yankees lead the Orioles 5-3. Mets on top of the Nationals 3-2 midway through the eighth. And everything else in the majors a little bit later on. I guess we could check and see how the former JUCO player Bryce Harper is doing. 1 for 3 today. Out of the strike zone with the pitch to Hurd. One ball, no strikes. Garrison Hurd reached on an error in the second. Christian Harkey moves to the on-deck circle. Bunting towards third. That's a nice-looking bunt. Scooped up by McPhee. Fires over to first, but late. And Hurd will get on to load things up. So the Hurd bunt single puts the bases full of Hawks with nobody out. And Christian Harkey coming to the plate. Harkey hit into a 5-4 in the second. Just 3 RBIs on the year for Harkey, but they came, at least most of them, on a home run. So he's certainly got the power to put it on the other side of the wall and has the bases loaded here in the top of the fourth as Matthew Norton will try to minimize the damage and would love to get a K of Harkey. 28 plate appearances, 9 strikeouts of Harkey. My math's not real good, but I think that's almost a third of the time that he's come to the plate. He's been fanned. The count goes to 0-2 on Harkey. Wraps it over to McPhee, bobbles it, picks up, goes to second, gets the out there. The run, though, comes in. That is Collins who will score. Bryan will go to third. Harkey's the base runner at first. And Collins will come in to score the second Hawk run of the game. Justin Brooks wrapped into the 6-4 in the second. Slaps this in the direction of right, but it will drop into foul territory and out of play. Brooks trying to bunt his way aboard and runners over. Went after it, cannot connect, and the count goes to 0-2. Cole Escher moves to the on-deck circle. Couple of base runners on, one in here in the fourth. Norton's pitch popped up. Picapietra. He will make the catch, and then Bryan acted as if he would tag. He does not. But Harkey does and winds up at second. So 2 gone as we go back to the top of the order. Cole Escher comes to the plate. Escher hit by a pitch, stole a base, scored a run in the first, struck out in the third. One of 3 Ks for Norton. Into the strike zone with the opening pitch to Escher. Tyler Solomon moves to the on-deck circle. Count even, 1 apiece. A ball and a strike, 2 gone. 1 run in as the Hawks have doubled their lead here in the top part of the fourth. Norton has struck out Escher, Solomon, and Collins. Wrapped over towards third. McPhee can't handle it. Back over to third and dropped to sliding in is Harkey. And that is going to be another error at third by McPhee. Bryan will come in and score to make it a 3-zip game. Well, the 2 hits and the 2 errors have turned into 2 runs. Solomon swatting it towards center field. Miller reaches up, plucks it from the sky, makes the out, leaves a couple of base runners on, but the Hawks now leaded by 3 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters coming up when we return.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Well, a quick reminder to follow us and befriend us Facebook and Twitter. At Jog Jive on Twitter, Jog Jive Sports on Facebook. Score schedules and more. That's what you get on both. You know how the social media thing works. In addition to score schedules and more, you can interact with us and also watch the game coverage on Facebook and soon do the same on Twitter. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Nick Picapietra starting things off. Parker Orr, Blake Brady due up in the inning too. Hawks tacking on a couple of runs in the top part of the 4th. It was the combo of a couple of hits and a couple of errors that turned into a couple of runs. And the Hawks now with a 3-zip lead, trying to extend that lead over Georgia Highlands in the conference. They come into today with a half-game lead. I mentioned that the top 4 teams go to the conference tournaments. That means if play was to end today, East Georgia, South Georgia, Georgia Highlands, and ABAC would be in. But there's still the rest of the month to play, and a little bit of May as well. Into the strike zone with the opening pitch to Picapietra, who popped out to left field, was the first out in the 2nd inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Missed low to even the count at 1. One triple, no home runs, 28 RBIs, 8 walks, 21 strikeouts, and a .380 batting average for Picapietra as the pitch goes inside, 2-1. First of a couple of games, dare I say it, a quick-moving game thus far. Swing and a miss. Even at 2 goes the count. I think it was the Gordon ABAC game a couple of weeks ago that it took about a half hour to finish the first inning. We are 54 minutes in as this one is hit to Solomon at second, and we'll get it over to first to get Picapietra on the 4-3 putout. We have played 54, almost 55 minutes and are into the bottom of the 4th in this one. Parker Orr with a fly out to center field. He was the middle out in the second inning. Coming to bat with the bases cleared here in the bottom of the fourth, Blake Brady moving to the on-deck circle, asking for time as Orr. I wonder if it throws some hitters out of the routine, because with artificial turf, you're not moving dirt with the feet, or you're not picking up dirt and rubbing it between the gloves. So some hitters it may affect the psyche of more so than others. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Orr. Got just a piece of it to even the count at 1. Blake Brady moving to the on-deck circle. Orr, a .354 hitter on the year, leads the team in RBIs with 31. Also tops on the team in home runs, has a total of 7. Two teams with very similar numbers. We mentioned their overall record. Pretty close. Conference records, pretty close. Look at home runs hit. South Georgia with 19, Georgia Highlands with 17. Runs scored, 247 for the Hawks, 249 for the Chargers. So two very evenly matched teams. As the count is even, a couple of balls, couple of strikes on Orr. Flies this one in the direction of left field. Giles going back. He will watch it sail out of the park. Home run number 8 on the year. And it will produce RBI number 32 for Parker Orr. And the Chargers will get on the board. Compliments of this swing and the end result. Over the wall on left field. And Orr makes it a 3-1 contest. Just over the middle of the plate, and then Sin on the other side of the wall. Into the strike zone to Blake Brady. Brady hit by a pitch in the second. That is the 4th home run given up this year by Mark Mixon. Slapped down the line but fouled towards right by Brady. And it's 0-2 on Brady. Skylar McPhee moving to the on-deck circle. So with one swing of the Parker Orr bat, a third of the lead knocked off by that home run from Orr. Makes it a 3-1 contest here in the bottom part of the 4th. And apparently Brady getting just a piece of it. Fouls it off, and his at-bat will continue. 3 hits now in the game for the Chargers. And I see that a 4th one has just posted. Does something get changed? It was a temporary change. So we're back to 3 hits, couple of singles in the 3rd, 1 home run in the 4th. And the Chargers now with 3 base hits in the contest, 4 for South Georgia. And they have all been of the single variety. Owens in the 1st, Solomon in the 3rd, and then Collins and Hurd in the 4th. Blake Brady, the DH, awaiting the 0-2 toss. Right back up the middle. That is a single, 4th hit of the game, 2nd one of the inning. And the Chargers with another base runner on in the fourth. It will bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Skylar McPhee, a .363 hitter on the year with a couple of home runs, 18 RBIs. Brady, the base runner at first, one stolen base this year for Brady. And the Chargers trying to overcome 3 infield errors. And made it a 3-1 game and have potentially run number 2 at first, run 3 at the plate. Nice backhand by Harkey. If that goes to the screen, then you've got Brady in scoring position. McPhee looking down the line to third. Coach Dash O'Neill with instructions. Back into the box goes McPhee, and he'll get hit by the pitch. Second Charger to get hit by a Mark Mixon pitch. It happened to Brady back in the second. Happens to McPhee here in the fourth. Make that 3 now because Spencer Lewis got hit by a pitch too. So 1 per inning. Innings 2, 3, and 4 hit by Mixon. And now the tying run aboard in the bottom of the fourth for Spencer Lewis. Lewis hit by a pitch in the third, stole a base, got stranded at third. That happened back in the third inning, but the Chargers making some noise here in the bottom part of the fourth. Orr with a home run, Brady followed with a single, McPhee hit by a pitch. And Mark Mixon, the Hawk pitcher, has almost as many hits as the Chargers. He's hit Brady, he's hit Lewis, he's hit McPhee. Spencer Lewis, a .200 hitter on the year, hit by a pitch, stole a base, as I mentioned, in the third. Has a couple of base runners on here in the fourth. And you can see Harkey asking the dugout to run through the called pitches again, the rotation, before relaying it on to Mark Mixon. Fouled out of play by Lewis. Lewis 3 RBIs on the year, but here's an opportunity to tack on to that RBI total. Has 1 extra base hit this year. That was a double. And it is 0-2 on Lewis. Here's the 0-2 offering. It's just a little high, a little outside as well, 1-2. Base runners at first and second. McPhee at first, Brady the base runner at second. McPhee represents the tying run. Lewis at the plate, the go-ahead run. Austin Foster moves to the on-deck circle. Swing and a miss, and Lewis out number 2. And Mark Mixon will pick up his second strikeout of the game, his 66th of the year. And there's 2 down for the 9-hitter Austin Foster. Foster batting .274 this year. Ground out to third a couple of innings back, actually 1 inning ago. He was the first out in the third inning, trying not to become out number 3 in the fourth. Hawks in the fifth send their 3, 4, and 5 hitters to the plate. Giles, Owens, Collins, Mixon with a look to base runners. Swing and a miss, nothing in 2 on Foster. Zachary Miller next, hoping for an opportunity here in the bottom part of the 4th. Mixon with the 0-2, just missed. 1 ball, couple of strikes. Giles, Owens, and Collins when you get to the top part of the 5th for the Hawks. Outside again. Harkey able to keep it in front of him. Base runners will hold. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone, 2 on. And that one on the outside part of the plate. Back-to-back Ks, 1 swinging, that being Lewis, 1 looking. That's Foster, and a couple of base runners are left on. But Parker Orr sends it out of the park, puts a run on the board. It's a 3-1 contest. Hawks still lead it, though, as we head to the top of the 5th.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Well, things have changed a little bit since we last checked that line score. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors committed by the Hawks. Chargers with a run, 4 hits, 3 mistakes as we head to the top part of inning number 5. Jacob Giles starting things off. Giles 0 for 2, a ground out, a pop out, does have an RBI. Drove in the game's first run. Back in the first, Colby Owens, Mikel Collins, all scheduled to face Matthew Norton here in the 5th as well. Into the strike zone to Giles, and the count will even up. Hawks stranding 5 thus far. Chargers stranding 4. Swing a miss, and Giles, another strikeout victim for Matthew Norton. That is K number 1, 2, 3, 4 now in the game. And there's one away for Colby Owens. Owens 1 for 2. Hit to short. Foster's got it. Over to first goes the throw, and Owens out number 2. Two down for Mikel Collins, the DH. Another Hawk who's 1 for 2. Struck out in the first, singled and scored a run in the 4th. First pitch missed, but barely. Collins, 328. That's the batting average coming in. Was in a bit of a slump until that big breakout game between East Georgia and South Georgia that we broadcast a couple of weeks ago. I want to think he entered that day around the 220 mark. Now batting 100 points better at 328. Swing and a miss, and out goes Collins for the second time in the game via the K. 5 now in the game for Norton. As he retires the sign in order, we go to the bottom of the fifth, top of the order for the Chargers when we return to Lake Point in Emerson, Georgia.
In Morristown, at the Best Western Plus Morristown Conference Center Hotel. When checking in, be sure to show your Best Western Rewards card and earn points. And make yourself at home in their spacious lobby, plenty of seating room, and a large screen TV await. Enjoy complimentary hot breakfast served from 6 to 10 each day, where you can make your own waffle in the breakfast room. For your comfort, you'll find kitchenettes, suites, king and queen size beds, a dining table, a work desk, and a chair, and LCD televisions in their rooms. They also have accommodations for conferences, banquets, and meetings. The Oakwood Room can accommodate up to 160 guests. The Cherokee Room is perfect for a business retreat and can accommodate up to 80 guests. Audiovisual equipment and catering are available to make your event special. Just give them a call to check rates and book one of their meeting or banquet rooms today. The Best Western Plus Morristown Conference Center Hotel.
And don't forget, next week we come right back here to the northern part of the state. As a matter of fact, just a few miles up the road. Maybe that's down the road. I think it's up, though. Georgia Highlands playing softball on the 14th. Andrew College in town for a doubleheader, and we'll have the coverage for you next time that we see some GCAA baseball on Chalk Jive. Happens on the very first day of May. East Georgia and Gordon State. And all the coverage right here on Chalk Jive Sports. Bottom of the fifth, top of the order, Zachary Miller to start things off. 1 for 2 in the game. Lined out the second of the first, singled in the third. Bryson Horn, Willis Kemp due up in the inning too. Here's the opening Mark Mixon pitch, and it catches the corner. So 1 through 3 has gone 2 of 6. Miller and Horn with singles. Kemp has gone 0 for 2. The 3-1 contest here in the bottom part of the fifth. And out will go Miller. Norton has got 5 Ks in the game, and now Mixon picks up his 4th. And there's 1 away for Bryson Horn. Horn hit into a 4-3 in the first, pops this one up left side. Let's see if it is retrievable, and it is. Giles gets there, and Horn is out number 2. So 2 gone for Willis Kemp. Kemp is struck out and hit into a double play. And it was a big double play in the third with the bases loaded and 1 away. Horn, Miller, and Lewis were all on when Kemp came to the plate with 1 down. Into left field, base hit, 5th one of the game for the Chargers, and a 2-out singles got Kemp on. So Kemp will get aboard for Nick Picapietra, who is 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. The .380 hitter. A lot of lofty threes for the Chargers, but this guy's got the best average of all of those batting. 340, 350 or better. .380 hitter on the year. 0 for 2 in this one as it is fouled out of play. Parker Orr on deck. And of course, Parker Orr has accounted for the only Charger run thus far. And that solo home run in the 4th. 18th Charger home run of the season. And 8 of those belong to Orr. Kim's got his lead over at first. 2 stolen bases this year for Kim. Right up the middle, base hit, back-to-back singles, and a couple of base runners on. So 2 quick outs, Miller and Horn, and Kemp and Picapietra have delivered with singles with 2 gone, and now the Chargers again threatening. And they've got the gentleman who put it on the other side of the wall last time coming to the plate, Parker Orr. Orr with 32 RBIs leads the team in that category. Home runs 8. That's best on the team. And sure wouldn't mind getting home run number 9 and RBIs 33, 34, and 35 here. Of course, there's guys on the other side of the diamond that would prefer he not. Here's the mix and pitch on the corner. Here is the 0-1 pitch to Parker Orr. He's popped out and flown out, as in flew it out of the park. The fly out to center field happened as the middle out in the 2nd inning. The home run in the 4th was with 1 away. Here is the 0-2 offering to Orr. Blake Brady next. Just a little bit outside. Hawks in the 6th send Brian, Hurd, and Harkey to the plate. That is the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Here's the 1-2 offering. He thought about it, able to lay off the pitch. Runners take off, and Harkey will not try to gun them down. So the runners advance on what I believe to be a pass ball versus a wild pitch. And now a couple of base runners in scoring position, and any extra base hit, maybe not even an extra base hit, you could deliver with a single that drives in a pair of runs and ties it up. Here's the 2-2 offering. Big pitch to Orr. High. And the count full. Payoff pitch coming to Orr. Here's the 3-2. Handcuffed him. Out goes Orr. A couple of base runners left on. Orr frustrated with himself. And the Hawks will hang on to that 2-run lead as we head to the 6th. Brian, Hurd, and Harkey all coming up when we return to Lake Point, home a perfect game.
Wherever life takes you, remember all roads lead to Econo Lodge. We make travel easy. Econo Lodge, easy stop on the road.
Mention the stuff coming up in the GCAA. Don't forget, too, that we've added Walter State to our coverage. Softball and baseball coming up next weekend as they will take on Columbia State, and we'll have the coverage for you. Speaking of Walter State, they are part of the TCCAA, which is the same region in which a champion will be produced and then play the champion of the GCAA. That's the district that eventually determines who heads on to Grand Junction, Colorado, as the two regions, I believe it is 7 and 17 battle to eventually get to play at Sam Simplizio Field there in Grand Junction. First pitch on the inside part of the plate to Jake Bryan. Bryan 0 for 2 with a ground out. He reached on an error. And a couple of quick strikes from Norton. Garrison Hurd, Christian Harkey due up in the inning too. Way too far inside. One ball, 2 strikes. Leadoff batter in the 6th. Another one out of the zone, and the count will even up. Well, the Chargers have had their opportunities. Loaded it up in the 3rd, and a couple of base runners on in the 4th, 2 on in the 5th. As Bryan is struck out, that is 3 out of the last 4 faced by Norton. He's fanned. And there's one away for Garrison Hurd. Garrison Hurd reached on an error and single. 1 for 2. Christian Harkey is next. Popped in the direction of left field, and the diving catch right about the ankles by Spencer Lewis. Nice Spencer Lewis catch in left, denying an opportunity for Hurd to get on. And there's 2 gone. Here is Christian Harkey, who's ground out to 3rd twice, and now, well, got another error. It is the 3rd one at 3rd by McPhee. And a base runner at first. McPhee had only committed 10 errors coming into today in 32 games. So the average for McPhee is to commit an error about every 3 games. But he's got 3 mistakes at 3rd today. Hit in the direction of right field. Pietra knocking it down on the short hop. Able to keep it in front of him, limiting Brooks to a single, but Harkey will get to 3rd on the shot, and runners are on the corners as we head back to the top of the order. So it started with a mistake at 3rd, and Brooks then delivers with a single. We go back to the top of the order. And here's a guy that's benefited from Charger mistakes. Escher hit by a pitch in the 1st and then reached first on a McPhee error in the 4th. High with the opening pitch to Escher. Tyler Solomon moves to the on-deck circle. Over to first goes the throw, and Brooks will get back safely. That's a little dangerous in that you got a guy at 3rd in Harkey. And if the throw gets away from first baseman Horn, Harkey likely comes in. A little surprised the throw went to 2nd from Orr with a base runner at 3rd, but he guns down to 2nd trying to get Brooks, but instead Brooks safely there. Hit to center field, and no damage done by the single nor the error or the pass ball. 2 are left on, 3 go down. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It's Brady, McPhee, and Lewis all coming up.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Well, let's get you updated on other scores real quickly. Patrick Reed still leading the Masters now by a stroke. I think he was up by a pair of strokes earlier. In the majors, Cubs and Brewers just underway scoreless in the first. Red Sox have beaten the Rays 10-3. Yankees knocking off the Orioles 8-3, and the Mets beat the Nationals 3-2. All Major League Baseball later on. All NBA begins a little later. No, actually, got one game in progress. Nuggets leading the Clippers 41-34 with 8:31 left to play in the first half. Bottom of the 6th, Blake Brady starting things off. He's been hit and got a hit. Hit by a Mixon pitch in the 2nd and a single in the 4th. Batting to begin the bottom of the 6th, Skylar McPhee. Spencer Lewis due up in the inning 2. First pitch fouled away. First of a couple of games. Got another 7-inning game to go. This one at 1 hour, 28 minutes in. Outside with the pitch to even the count at 1. So you're looking at maybe a start time around 5:30-ish. For game number 2 of the doubleheader. Couple of strikes on Brady. Hawks in the top part of the inning. Bryant and Hurd go down quickly. Then Harkey reaches on an error. Brooks with a single, and looked like the Hawks might add to it. Into the strike zone. And out goes Brady. Back-to-back Ks for Mixon. He fanned Orr to end the 5th, Brady to begin the 6th. And there's one away for Skylar McPhee. Six strikeouts now in the game for Mark Mixon. Puts him in 70 on the year. McPhee, a fly out to right field. Got hit by a pitch too. He's 0 for 2. I'll make that 0 for 1. 0 for 1 in the game. Drives this one into left field, and the one hopper winds up in the mid of Giles. McPhee with the 7th Charger base hit of the game. So McPhee gets on. Spencer Lewis to the plate. Hit by a pitch and struck out. Austin Foster moves to the on-deck circle. Chargers have left 6 on thus far in the game. Left 2 on in the third. Left 2 on in the fourth. Left 2 on in the fifth. The swing and miss. 0-2 on Spencer Lewis. Hawks in the 7th will start with their 2 spot. Chargers hoping they don't get near the 7th for a bit. Want to stay in the bottom part of the 6th. Hawks trying to keep the lead intact. Popped up towards Childs in left field on the run. Will not get there. Diving try. Comes up empty. Picked up by center fielder Hurd. Given the green light as McPhee throw to the plate. He'll be tagged out. So Lewis credited with the double. Went to third on the throw to the plate, and McPhee thrown out at home. And there's 2 gone with a base runner at third and a visitor for Mark Mixon. A good possibility where this game is concerned, if the Hawks hang on and win, that the Chargers will be thinking about the what ifs. Multiple opportunities, but still a couple of runs short. Still got time though. That's the beauty of baseball. You can have one big inning and win a game. Austin Foster 0 for 2. Has Lewis at third. Spencer Lewis, big base hit, only his 2nd extra base hit of the season. And now over at third, trying to tack on another run for the Chargers. On the corner, the count evens at 1. Foster hitting .274 coming into today. Is 0 for 2 with a ground out to third and a strikeout. He thought about it, might, should have. Count goes 1-2. Zachary Miller is on deck. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Lewis at third in a 3-1 game. Driven towards right field, but right at Cole Escher. And Lewis is left on. Couple of base hits. 4 go up, 3 go down, 1 left aboard. We have played 6. It's a 3-1 Hawks lead.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
We end at the top of the 7th. Quick rundown of all the stuff coming up here on Jock Jive. Of course, next weekend, Andrew College, Georgia Highlands, and softball. Your next GCA baseball, May 1st, East Georgia, Gordon State. Softball next week, Southern Union, Shelton State. And then you got baseball happening on the 26th. Wallace Hansville, Shelton State, Walter State softball against Columbia State, followed by Walter State baseball against Columbia State. And it's all coming up right here on Jock Jive Sports. Top of the 7th, 3-1 game. Tyler Solomon has struck out, singled, and popped out. 1 for 3 in the game with a stolen base. Jacob Giles, Colby Owens due up in the inning, too. Driven towards short. Foster will get to it and not able to get it over to first, though. Solomon will be credited with a base hit. That will be the 6th of the game for the Hawks, and the leadoff hitter on. So the Hawks trying to tack on a little insurance. Chargers trying to keep the Hawks from tacking on a little insurance. Solomon over at first. 10 stolen bases on the year. The hit and run executed to perfection. So the Giles single has a couple of base runners on. And Colby Owens, who has singled and ground out twice, coming to the plate. High and inside, obviously anticipating the bunt, and looked like Owens was about to give the Chargers what they anticipated. Runners take off, swing and a miss. Throw goes down to third, and you got the pickoff of Solomon trying to steal third. New guy playing third, that is Miguel Urbina. And Urbina laying the tag on Solomon. So it was an effort to get the double steal. Instead, you get the single one with Giles going to second. And there is one away. Colby Owens. 1 ball, couple of strikes. Mikael Collins moving to the on-deck circle. I wonder if, and these are the odd things I guess I think about during the course of a now 1 hour and 37-minute game, if on a double steal, both runners have ever been thrown out. I guess something odd has probably happened, and both runners thrown out. As a matter of fact, it seems like I watched a high school baseball game a couple of years ago where 2 runners went down on the double steal. But that might have been a delayed steal. Owens with a single in the first, hit into a 4-3 in the third, a 6-3 in the fifth. Payoff pitch coming from Matthew Norton. Right back up the middle, base hit from Owens. Let's see if it will score Giles. Picked up quickly by Miller, fires cut off by first baseman Horn, and the Colby Owens single drives in the 4th Hawk run of the game. You're beginning to hear a lot of that breeze in our field mic picking up here. As it becomes a 4-1 contest, Owens getting RBI number 24 on the year. Mikael Collins, 1 for 3. Had a single sandwiched between a couple of strikeouts. Struck out in the first and fifth, singled in the fourth. And is in an 0-2 hole here in the 7th. Jake Bryan on deck. I'm not sure how much time they will take between games. There is no field prep necessary, so you would assume the time between games 1 and 2 narrowed. I would think at least a half hour between this one and the next one. Another 0-2 offering to Collins. The left-hander awaits, the right-hander deals, and does so outside of the strike zone. 1-2 on Collins. Base runner at first, Owens had the RBI single moments ago that drove in Childs, and Collins able to get just enough of it to stay alive. So 6 strikeouts for Norton. And I believe Mixon's got 6 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So both guys with 6 Ks. And there is a double play. Collins ramps into it, puts an end to the top part of the 7th, but not before the Hawks will plate another run. It's back to a 3-run advantage as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Chargers know the task. Need at least 3 to tie and 4 to win.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Your stay in Morristown at the Best Western Plus Morristown Conference Center Hotel. When checking in, be sure to show your Best Western Rewards card and earn points. And make yourself at home in their spacious lobby, plenty of seating room, and a large screen TV await. Enjoy complimentary hot breakfast served from 6 to 10 each day, where you can make your own waffle in the breakfast room. For your comfort, you'll find kitchenettes, suites, king and queen size beds, a dining table, a work desk, and a chair, and LCD televisions in their rooms. They also have accommodations for conferences, banquets, and meetings. The Oakwood Room can accommodate up to 160 guests. The Cherokee Room is perfect for a business retreat and can accommodate up to 80 guests. Audiovisual equipment and catering are available to make your event special. Just give them a call to check rates and book one of their meeting or banquet rooms today. The Best Western Plus Morristown Conference.
We head to the bottom of the 7th, top of the order for Georgia Highlands. Zachary Miller steps in to lead things off. Bryson Horn, Willis Kemp, 2 up in the inning, 2, facing a new guy on the hill. That's the sophomore Hassan Westbrook, making his 14th appearance of the season. They have all been limited appearances. In the 13 previous, he has racked up a total of 12 innings of work. So he doesn't stay out there long, but has picked up 6 saves this season. 6 hits given up, 6 runs, 4 earned, 7 walks, 14 strikeouts, no home runs, 2.92 ERA for Westbrook. Facing Miller, who is 1 for 3. He lined out the second in the first, singled in the third, struck out in the 5th. And the count 1-2. Mark Mixon, the starting pitcher for the Hawks, works 6 innings, faces 27, strikes out 6, no walks, 8 hits given up. 1 run. He did hit 3. And gives way to Westbrook. Count evens at 2. That hole got a little deeper after the top part of the 7th. 1 more run tacked on by the Hawks. Giles coming in to score on the Colby Owens single. And now that hole 3 runs deep for the Chargers. 2-2 Westbrook pitch into the dirt. And the count will run full. Well, if you're the Chargers, you don't like being down, but if you're going to be down going into the bottom part of the last inning, you like where you're starting things with a leadoff guy. Here's the 3-2 toss, the payoff to Miller. Swing and a miss. Miller fanned for the 2nd time. First time by Westbrook. That is the 7th K rung up by Hawk pitching. And there's 1 away in the 7th. Bryson Horn 1 for 3 as well. Ground out to second in the 1st, singled in the 3rd, popped out to left in the 5th. Westbrook finding the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Here is the 0-1 offering. Westbrook bouncing it to the plate. And the count evens at 1. Both teams with 8 hits in the game. But the Chargers with 4 costly errors, 3 at 3rd. Westbrook comes at you with some decent heat. Colby Owens and now Christian Harkey will go talk with Westbrook. Right about 5:30, it looks like game number 2 of the doubleheader should get underway. This one with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th, right at an hour 48 of baseball. Quickly through the first 4, and then I mentioned how quickly it was going, and it has slowed down a bit. Outside of the strike zone, and the count 3-1. Horn, a .320 hitter on the year, has been walked 24 times this year. Sends this one towards center field, hurt over a bit, catches up to it on the run, and there's 2 gone. Two down for Willis Kemp. Kemp has struck out, hit into a double play, single. 1 for 3 is Kemp. So 1, 2, and 3 have all gone 1 for 3. Nick Picapietra moving to the on-deck circle. Westbrook trying to put the finishing touches on what the Hawks hope is a 4-1 win. Chargers hoping for a 2-out rally. Into the strike zone, 0-2 on Kemp. Kemp fanned in the 1st, hit into the double play in the 3rd, and the single in the 5th, batting in the 7th. Trying to hold up, did he, and appeal down to 1st, and yes, he did hold up. 1 ball, couple of strikes on Kemp. South Georgia trying to widen their distance between the 2 and the 3 spot in the GCAA conference play. And improved to 11-6 outside with the pitch. Georgia Highlands trying to avoid going 10-8 in the conference. Here is the 2-2 offering to Kemp. Just a little bit outside. Westbrook striking out Miller, getting Horn to fly out. And now has a 2-strike count on Kemp. And that is going to roll foul over towards first. Count full, 3 balls, couple of strikes on Kemp. Westbrook trying to retire the side in order. Chargers trying to begin the rally with a Kemp something. Walk, hit, run. How about the walk? Kemp is on. So Picapietra coming to the plate. He's 1 for 3-2. Well, as a matter of fact, I'll look at the Georgia Highlands scorecard here, and everybody has had a base hit with the exception of Austin Foster. Nobody's had multiple base hits, so of the 8 base hits, they're spread amongst 8 different Chargers. Here is the 0-1 offering from Westbrook. Kemp with his lead at first, swing and a miss, 0-2. A fly out, a ground out, a single for Picapietra. Parker Orr, who accounts for the only Charger run thus far, the solo home run in the 4th, is on deck. Right where it was framed by Harkey, just outside, hoping to tease Picapietra with something to the outside. Here's the 1-2 offering from Westbrook. Comes in low, 2-2. Tying run on deck with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 7th. Westbrook comes set, fires, and does so outside of the strike zone. Well, Westbrook issued his 8th walk of the season moments ago, putting Kemp on. And now Picapietra trying to get on 2, instead swings, misses. 4 go up, 3 go down, 2 via the Westbrook fan. And Kemp is left on as this one wraps up after 7 complete. It is a victory that belongs to South Georgia State. And with the victory, they improve to 11-6 in the conference, 25-14 overall. The loss makes Georgia Highlands 10-8 in conference play. And their overall record is now 24-13. So it is a final. Hawks win it. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Chargers lose it by 3. 1 run, 8 hits, and 4 mistakes. Game 2 of the doubleheader in about a half hour. We will see you then here on Jock Jive Sports. Robert Williamson for the GCAA Sports Network.